We have FARAN Moradi. Moradi, am I saying the name correctly? Thank you so much. And you probably have seen Farhan in the chat multiple times. As some of you know or may not know, Farhan is a filmmaker, and he recently just they recently just showed his latest film, Toronto, at the Asian American Film Festival currently going on here in Austin. And we're also joined by one of the lead actor, I believe. Introduce yourself, sir.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Sammy Zero. I should look right there, actually.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, right at the camera.
He's an actor.
Yeah. He does. He's smart. And Farhan, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir. But go ahead.
I mean, you did it better than I did.
I know, but I like you to do it too.
So I'll do what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm FARAN Moradi. I'm the writer-director of Tehranto.
And I want both of them to speak about the film and what it means to them right now. Because Martin, he saw the movie, and I want to have him share his opinion. Of course.
I saw it maybe about 3 weeks ago, and
nice.
and I loved it. So and it's one of those things where somebody says, "Hey, here's my film, check it out." And you're like, man, please let this be good, because I don't know what to tell this guy if it's not.
Yeah.
So, but I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So I was like, whew, okay.
And that's good to hear, because I want you to go into more details in just a bit. But for those that don't know, I'm going to go ahead and show you the trailer for Toronto, and we'll come back. We're going to have everyone speak about it.
I don't know what you expected here when you came, but culturally we're too different.
I consider you an incredible fan and a good friend, has been very supportive of us, and so I'm happy to talk about your film. But please go into any detail about the movie itself.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the whole reason that we made the movie was because, two reasons. The first one was that anytime you saw Iranians in films, they were usually not played by Iranians. Like you had Alfred Molina, Ben Kingsley, Jake Gyllenhaal, right? And they weren't the best representations of who we are and what our community's about. And movies that were coming out of Iran that were getting any kind of international exposure were usually profiting on, not maybe they, like the filmmakers weren't, but certainly a lot of festivals were, and distributors profiting on a lot of suffering and a lot of somber things that were going on in Iranian lives. And that wasn't true to the Iranian experience that I had. I mean, there is a lot of hardship in my family's lives. Like, they came to Canada as refugees. They escaped Iran as Baha'is. Yeah, growing up, we always had these big family gatherings, lots of music, lots of food, like intricate textiles all over the house, really beautiful stuff. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to try to share some of that with the world. So that's what this movie's all about. Nice.
And, Sammy, your experience in the film, you're the lead actor. Tell us about what this movie means to you and why people should see it.
I think, so this movie was really different to what I'm used to. I think, when I saw the breakdown at first, just how he showcased, the different side of Iranians as a whole, and the comedic side of it, and it was kind of like a breath of fresh air, really. So that was what initially attracted me to the project. And, I just felt like I could, relate to that character a bit in the sense that, again, it was just different than what I'm used to. So I had, a really lighthearted sense to it, which, it was nice. It was nice to see. So
nice. Very nice. Martin, you've seen the movie, so I'd love to hear a critic's opinion. Can we talk about the movie critically? Okay.
You know what? You set up the plot for us and tell us.
Okay, cool. So in Toronto, lively music, intricate textiles, and vibrant colors paint the scene of love and family when Badi and Sharon, two young students from a divided Iranian community, accidentally fall in love. I say accidentally because early on in the film, they don't like each other. Sharon is very pro-assimilation, doesn't know too much about Iranian culture, and Badi is very anti-assimilation to the point where he brandishes assimilated immigrants as traitors to their own race. And over the course of the film, they kind of meet in the middle. And it's definitely packaged as a rom-com, especially the first half of the movie. But as you watch it, you realize that it's really a coming-of-age film. It's doing the festival run right now. We have a distribution deal for Canada.
Very nice.
So it'll be in theaters across Canada in November, which is a huge deal for Canadian films. Because most of our films that play in theaters aren't actually Canadian. They're American.
Okay.
So the fact that we got a theatrical distribution was huge for us. and after that, so that'll be in November. After that, it'll end up on streaming services and stuff eventually. But we don't have an American distributor yet. So if there is any American distributors watching, or if people watching know someone that they want to send the film to, go for it. But yeah, for now we're in a holding pattern, waiting to hear from some more festivals. Actually, you know what? It's playing in the Bay Area in Silicon Valley in August.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go.
Like 15th or 16th weekend. So if you're around, yeah, check out the CineQuest Film Festival.
You know, I was curious, you know, with because you made this movie before the pandemic, correct?
Sort of. We
Yeah.
we shot it before the pandemic. We certainly shot
Yeah.
it before the pandemic. We shot it the first about like 4-month period in 2019. We were going to have an editor cut it, but our producer was like, "Hey, you edit for a living, so
Oh, shit.
it'll save us a lot of money if you just cut it."
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right, I'll cut it, but I need like a few months off so I can like detox from the film." Took some time off, cut it, and the film was done. We picture locked the film, which means like you're done editing when the pandemic had started.
Right.
And as a result, like, man, doing color and sound and music, especially sound and music, took a long time during the pandemic.
By the way, Chad, settle down, goddammit. They are thirsting after the two of you right now. It is crazy.
Because I had dinner with these two guys, and I was like, God damn, these some two handsome-ass guys.
Yes,
and
yes.
I just wonder what's going to happen when they're actually on screen.
Like, I had a month to write this script, and I went through and I spent like the first week just like watching different movies that I really liked that were inspirational to the plot. Then I spent, I think the first draft of the film I wrote in 24 hours. But
Wow.
that first draft of the film was like, if it was produced, it would have been like 3 hours long.
Damn.
So
Okay.
it was like not good by any means. So then I went through and
Rough
I
draft.
made adjustments. I reworked it, sent it in. Finally, it got to a point where Sheridan liked it and they sent it. And then even then, I reworked it again before we sent it to Telefilm for funding. Even after it got approved, we did a table read with some actors before we cast. Just with some actor friends of mine, and there were some like cringy lines of dialogue in there that I was like, ugh. I had to like go through and make lots of tweaks.
Of course.
So, I mean, if you were to like boil it down, it was probably like a few months worth of writing, but it was over the course of like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Just taking the time to, you know, to
Maybe
hone
maybe
it,
a
craft
year,
it.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Still.
good for everybody to kind of get a vision of what the process is like.
Yeah.
You know, rather than thinking like, hey, you spent a month, you wrote it, you shot the thing, and then there it was.
No, there's a lot more involved. There's a lot behind the scenes things. Because I know we have some aspiring filmmakers and creators within our own community that they love hearing about this kind of thing. That's why it's great talking to both of you.
Honestly, you know, I did work on an indie film before it. It actually premiered in TIFF too. So that was called Easy Land, which is, you know, the producer is one of your friends too. So, but honestly, I gotta say, like, working with you and on that set, you know, the cast and crew, they're all really friendly and just really cool really good vibe as a whole. So especially when you're working with a director, you want to make sure that, you know, you got as much, you know, time in a sense to kind of put in your own thoughts and have a little bit of input. So we actually, when we first met up, he took me out to pizza, and he's like, you know, he wanted to discuss stuff with me. So, you know, I had my, like, you know, my 2 cents, and I said, you know, what I thought of the character and stuff. But that alone, just having that initial first impression is, you know, showcases that, you know, someone really cares about their craft and they just want to output something that's as, you know, high quality as possible. So by all means, you know, it was a pleasure working with you. I'm here with you in Austin, so, you know, that says enough, right? So yeah, definitely, it was a pleasure working with you, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
Look at
likewise,
that. That was
likewise.
so
I'm gonna
earnest.
cry.
I love that. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful moment right
Yeah.
there.